Okay, Birdie39 channel, welcome. Let's have a look at some mad cars available for sale in Japan at the moment. This is Yahoo Auction, yeah. I'm not sure if you can open this website outside of Japan. I was in England a couple of months ago and I couldn't look at it. But basically I'm looking at page.auctions.yahoo.co.jp, Yahoo Auctions. It's like equivalent of like eBay, but just for Japan basically. But yeah, you get some like mad stuff for sale on here, so it's always fun to look at. You get some bargains as well. If you look at a specific car you're looking for, if you can get it on here, it's likely if you did want to buy something you found on here, they wouldn't sell it to you anyway. It's not really for exports, it's just for Japanese people. Anyway, so yeah, check this out. This is a Nissan Gloria 330 Highway Racer. It's a bit mad, to say the least. Only in Japan. Pedestrian safety is of no concern. How wide are these wheels to fill out these fenders? I mean, the work that went into it. I mean, just creating that. I dread to think what it's made of, like MDF board, like covered in fiberglass and body filler. And then all painted, like stenciled out and painted. Mad. Looks like some like whistles or something on the exhaust there. Well, they're taped up. What's that about? Carbon mirrors, rusty screws. That is so Japanese. Alright, we get it. Jesus. It's in bad condition. Alright, what else we got? This looks cool, but I'll click on this one first. 2 million yen. That's about 12 grand. You might want to double check that, but about 12,000. Call it $15,000. And there's a bit of an underground scene for these. I've seen like all these custom trucks. I see like young women, like women in the early 20s driving them and stuff. They just love this customized truck look. Look at it. It's like something out of a Transformers cartoon. Yeah, you see them about quite a lot. They are quite popular. And the best sounding cars, or some of the best sounding vehicles, are these. They've got massive like 10 litre diesels and they put massive exhaust systems on them. They sound pretty mean. It's just mad, isn't it? Complete disregard for weight. Wow. Look at all this stuff. Give me a headache just looking at that. Alright, cool. Right, where's that cool car I just saw on the last page? This one. I like those. This is when Japan was like copying American muscle cars with their design. A lot of these sort of 70s Nissans and Toyotas were yeah, really obviously copying America with their design. Nice paintwork, may have been freshly painted. These look like Krager steel wheels. I'd happily drive this around. I think that's really cool. Nice. What else we got? Look, don't they all just look like American cars? This is a Nissan, not a Chevrolet. How cool is that? Wish I knew about these when I was younger. I could have probably got one really cheap before the internet. Never really knew about these old Japanese cars. Cool, so yeah, that's an abundance of everything you want to find on Yahoo Auction. It's quite cool. There's another mad Japanese thing. I mean, executed really well, whatever they've done. Fabricated that themselves. Like, really well made. It's a bit mad design though, isn't it? Holy shit, look at that. I mean, this car's bordering on like contemporary artwork. I mean, it's so mad, I love it. And like really perfectly done. 10 out of 10 for whoever did the fabrication and all that bodywork. Really like it. Cheap as well, look. There's a Toyota Mark II. Cool. Loads of Crestas. I always sort of see these small thumbnail pictures and think it's a Bluebird, but it's always a Cresta. Really common, but the Bluebirds are comparatively rare. That was a really American looking thing. What did I just see then? This one. That's quite cool. Never seen on the road. Oh, the 300 ZX, look. Really cool. I love this car. Not too expensive as well. Late Pig Eye Chaser, Turbo Chaser. You can spend a lot of time on his website just looking at what's for sale. This is a GTR, look. Got to pay for it though. It's a nice car. I'm gonna watch that. This website is quite helpful as well, because I could just write in that in English and it will translate it automatically in the search for it. I haven't got sometimes on a lot of Japanese sort of car search websites, you've got have Google Translate tab open, you've got to translate all my searches to Japanese and then copy and paste that into the search box. So some of them are hard work, but this one's not. This one's really good. This car's really nice. I like this car. So look at the engine. There it is. The RB26. Bit of a ledge, this engine, more so than the Toyota Supra 2JZ. This had a lot more success in racing and stuff. Cool, I really like this car. Nice colour as well. Look at it. Lovely. 10 million for that race prepped R32. I reckon the prices of some of these cars have come down a bit. It was getting really mad for a bit. Even things like this, like the Mark III Supra, like I used to have. This is the 2.5 litre twin turbo, look. Asking, bidding from 2.5 million. These were getting silly. If you go on goonet.com, which are cars which people are offering for export, they're well expensive. But I think that's Japanese traders trying their luck, trying to get a bit more money for them from elsewhere in the world. But in Japan, it's a bit more sensible. This one's really tidy. Things I owned one of these, yeah, and I had a load of trouble with it. And even I sort of feel like I would want one that's automatic. I sort of feel like I would want one now, but 20 years ago I had one that had trouble with it. So if I'm buying one, it's going to be 20 years older than what I had before. And yeah, it would really piss me off if I bought another one and then had trouble with it again. It's like, I'd be really kicking myself, saying I knew it. I don't trust these cars. Also, they cost more than I would want to pay as well. Mark IV Supra, this one's only, look, yeah, these prices have come down, look. That's a nice condition one, less than 3.5 million. That's quite high kilometres, which is actually quite low if you get one in England, but for Japan, that's really high kilometres. Oh, repair history, yes. That's why it's cheap. In Japan, they don't like high mileage cars, and they don't like previously crashed and repaired cars. That massively affects the price. Someone like me, I would happily have that. I don't mind. I totally trust a Toyota with 90,000 miles on it, whatever that is. Does that just say 5-speed manual? Sweet. It's 3 litre 5-speed manual. This is like, oh, he's in a rush to sell it. He's not selling it with those wheels. I hate when people do that. A list of all the modifications. Defect. There is a hole where the side marker was attached to the rear. If you'll purchase it, please send us a message first. What do you mean a hole where the side marker was attached to the rear? Anyway, this is stuff I do when I've got a bit of spare time. When I'm editing videos or whatever and I'm waiting for it to load up, I go on Yahoo Auction and I just look at stuff like this for sale. But I don't like this, like these kind of Instagram photos. They're no good. If you're trying to document something you want to offer for sale, just put boring, normal, clear photos from every angle, from up, from low, from the front, from the corner. Just walk around it taking photos, really boring photos. That's what someone who's looking to buy it wants to see. We don't care about your massively like edited, like all the filters and effects Instagram photos. That's no good to someone buying it. It doesn't really tell me much. I just want a clear, boring photo. This is better, but even that, took it at night in an underground car park. Go outside, mate, and take a photo in the daylight. This is the best photo. Quite a nice car though. Quite like it. Nicely lowered. If it's got like quality coilovers on it or something, that's a nice car. There's a black one here. I do tend to look at Mark IV Supras quite a lot, but even that is more than I would spend on one. I don't think they're really worth more than 16, 17 grand. Oh, this car's been for sale for ages. No one wants this car. Maybe people get to see it and then they don't like something about it, they're not being obvious about it. But it's an automatic, 3 litre, kilometres, mileage, it's a little bit untrustworthy. Yeah, something like this is going to be difficult to sell in Japan. All it isn't. NSX. There's another car I really like, but pricey. I mean, this is cheap for one of these. You go and see what they cost for export, like you can almost double that. Oh, it's a manual. Sweet. Something special about the NSX for me, because I've always really liked them, and years ago no one wanted them, and there was one for sale in a Honda showroom for years, and everyone used to say like the car's never going to sell. It's literally been there like 3-4 years. But I used to think, I remember it was like £69,000. I used to think if I had the money I would 100% buy that car. I think it's a really special car. And all these years later people agree with me. And also in a car, it was like the Birmingham NEC car show. I sat in a new one when the one came out with went from pop-up lights to the normal lights. I sat in one when it was new and I thought, this is it. I really, really like these cars. So I liked them anyway, that's why I was drawn to it. Yeah, if I was going to spend big money on a car, I'd rather spend that on this car than spend half that on a Mark IV Supra. I don't think the Supra is actually that special, to be honest. They're just famous because they've been in a lot of Fast and Furious films and they get tuned up a lot. Yeah, look at that sort of price. That's what they normally cost. RX-7, let's have a quick look at this, and this will be the end of the video. Save it going on too long. Highly customized. Looks repainted. Psst, a little bit bad taste, to be honest. Possibly well maintained. See that? Steering wheel comes off. Bit too racy, mate. Too low profile. Not a fan of really skinny tyres. Spoiler's too big. Too much carbon. Got no rear window. This is all too race spec. Nah, you've made it look worse than standard. The mirrors are down here. Don't like these bonnet vents. Don't like all this. Blech. Cool and expensive. Okay, cool. Loads of them for sale. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll do another one in the future.